What was supposed to be just a casual video, a person on the bus filming an environment, but ended up recording something very strange. At a certain point, she films a person who appears to be missing a head. Now, what could that be? What do you think about this recording? As we can see, a person appears who appears to be missing a head walking on that sidewalk. Now, could it just be a camera glitch or could it be a ghost? A supernatural apparition? It is a rather confusing and frightening video. Oh, the following case is quite strange and frightening. Recently, she acquired a new little dog that came into the family. One day, this dog was playing with a bottle and it was at that moment that something very strange happened. Pay attention.
Late-night chills and an eerie silence set the stage for something truly unsettling.
A frightening cry that he believes is from this supposed entity. The crybaby was wandering around his street late at night.
Cameras don't lie. That's what makes this next case even more unnerving. Security footage captured a ghostly figure standing motionless outside a nightclub. Except, it wasn't really standing on anything. It hovered just above the pavement as cars drove right through it. The entity never flinched, never moved, never reacted. It was simply there, watching. And thanks to the footage, so are we.
The baby monitor captured this strange event. The baby was sound asleep when the camera captured strange lights and formation moving around. They seem to be orbs hovering around the infant as he sleeps. It doesn't look or behave like if it was dust or insects hovering by.
He says it's a former queen. The video shows an alleged entity, dressed in an antique dress, walking around the room. What's striking is that there's no staff working in the rooms at that time, the young man said in the comments. Users quickly noticed that the ghost had no head and claimed it was Anne Boleyn, Henry XVIII's ex-wife and queen consort of England in the 16th century, beheaded in the Tower of London. She has no head, so she could definitely be Anne Boleyn. She's wearing old clothes, so she's a ghost from years ago. And no one's working in the castle at that time of day, so she's probably a ghost.
¡Ey, señora! ¿Qué está haciendo? ¿Por qué tiene velas negras prendidas, por favor?
No, ¿qué velas negras?
Oiga, está nervioso con velas negras, estoy viendo. ¿Acaso el difunto familiar suyo?
Sí.
Y por eso prende velas negras aquí. No puede prender velas negras, tenga la bondad de retirarse, por favor. Retírese, por favor, que me va a meter en problemas. Tenga la bondad. Retírese, venga, retírese, por favor. Venga, tenga la bondad de irse. Tenga la bondad de irse y me da su nombre porque lo voy a poner por estado, por Facebook, para que se den cuenta qué es lo que viene a hacer usted acá. Siempre pasa lo mismo aquí. Siempre pasa lo mismo con ustedes, que uno tiene que andarlas corriendo porque vienen a hacer algún tipo de mal. Miren, ve, aquí todos son velas blancas, todas son velas blancas. Y ustedes siempre vienen a hacer lo que no tienen que hacer. Aquí es que le vienen haciendo tanto mal, que ustedes cansado.
Or goes away, comes back. Now watch, the person's gonna disappear.
It's like they're just boom.
Boom, gone.
Number 1. There is something scary in the darkness. People are exploring an abandoned house. They think no one is around and it's safe, but they are wrong. As she shines the light around, we don't see anyone, but it's there. A hand comes up out of the ground. They take pictures and observe it closer. What was that? A better question is, do we really want to know what that was?
A YouTuber captured something unexpectedly scary by accident. While recording, he was walking around his house and talking to the camera when viewers noticed it in the background. There was a shadowy figure of what looked like a person standing there. Problem was, they had no head or discernible features. Judge for yourself and tell me, was this truly paranormal? She was crawling on the ground like an animal. With glowing eyes, they claimed that she was a witch. A video like this can be shocking, but is this enough proof? Evaluate a claim like that? What do you think? Tell me in the comments.
At one point we could see what seemed to be an invisible force pulling that bottle. The family was astonished, but they think that perhaps it was the spirit of the little dog, who had passed away, that manifested itself at that moment, taking that bottle. There are many cases of people who claim to see ghosts and spirits of their animals that have passed away. And what do you think about this case? Could it really be the little dog that manifested itself that day? Comment below with your opinion. Oh, the silhouette of a figure can be seen through the window, but when she gets up and goes to look behind the curtain, there is nothing. However, when she closes the curtain again, that shadow appears again. A curious fact, Tracy says, is that her father had recently passed away, and a few hours before this footage, she was looking at some photos of her father. Another detail that caught a lot of attention, Tracy recorded this video and sent it to a friend, and his friend noticed a very sinister and scary detail that left Trace astonished. When she opens the curtain, we can see the reflection of her hand. In her hand there appears to be another hand on top of her, a larger hand. But the young woman was alone at home. So, who or what was that? It is quite frightening evidence that to this day remains a mystery.
This capture is very similar to the last. Imagine not being aware that something like that is looking at you from behind.
Themselves.
Check natin yung nakabahan ko guys.
This caused a stir in the neighborhood. Even the woman standing there was confused.
Ave Maria do céu, estão levando a sério esse coronavírus, velho.
He was on his way home when something caught his attention from behind the fence. Taking out his phone, he captured this footage of the unsettling encounter. There was a ghostly white figure there. It disappeared in a matter of seconds the closer he got to it. Was it a trick of the light, or did we really see that?
The most sinister part happens right at the end of the video, when the chair starts to move apparently on its own, as if someone were sitting on it. This gets worse and worse.
Like a person, which brings disturbing thoughts to mind. It is frightening to imagine what might be inside. If the cargo is handled with such caution and buried on a deserted island, could it be something truly horrifying? By randomly filming the place, the quadcopter captured something secretive and potentially terrifying, something we were never meant to see. What do you think it could be? A guy named Rasty decided to explore an old cemetery after hearing stories about ghosts said to haunt it. The most famous legend involves the ghost of a young mother who lost her child just a couple of weeks before her death. The tale became so well known that a statue was even placed in the cemetery to represent this grieving spirit. According to the legend, her ghost wanders through the cemetery at night in search of her lost child. It sounds like a typical ghost story, but then you see what Rasty's drone actually captured. From the cemetery came eerie sounds, including screams and moans. Afraid to enter the grounds himself, Rasty launched his drone to investigate. That is when he filmed something unsettling. A creepy figure seemed to emerge from the ground. The entity appeared and then vanished into the darkness. Perhaps it was the very ghost of the mother from the legend. Rasty was so terrified by what he saw through the drone's lens that he quickly turned it around and left the area. What do you think about this video? Share your thoughts in the comments.
Ghost sighting during cemetery live shot on the news. The reporter doesn't notice that the transparent figure runs past behind her. Just over her left shoulder, the camera catches it and we notice it as if it happens.
As you can see behind me here, we have a few gravestones, but what you can't see because it's dark out. And as you can see behind me here, we have a few gravestones, but what you can't see because it's dark out. And as you can see behind me here,
Photo taken at a hospital corridor. The wheelchair is alone, but notice the creepy detail that is there. Look at the reflection on the ground. There it is. Someone appearing to be holding the wheelchair as if guiding it. The entire thing is so strange and deeply terrifying.